So sometimes you just can't win. This is the, I'm not going to say original compressor, but we've had this one for years. When we built this shop, we bought this compressor, and it has been a piece of junk. I've rebuilt it once, and it needs rebuilding again. And I'm trying to decide if it's worth it, or if I should just either replace it or maybe try to use the motor and put a oiled pump in there, you know, like a cast iron oil pump, instead of this oilless, oil free or whatever. This thing's noisy, and they just do not hold up. Like I said, I rebuilt it once. It needs it again. Just not good designs. So that one has been out of commission because it will not pump up. It'll run, but it does not pump up. Well, it may pump up slowly, but either, I don't know, I think stage 1 is worn out on it. They've got, it's not a real, it's got this domed looking piston ring, I guess if you want to call it. I mean, it's a weird setup, but it was worn out before. I replaced both stages before, and I think before it was the second stage, because it would pump up and then it would keep running. It wouldn't run up to its maximum pressure and cut off. This time I think it's the first stage that's worn out, because it's not, I think it'll gradually build up pressure, but not really. So this one's been out of commission, so I put this one in. This is one that I got for free, and it's a combination of 2 compressors. The first one, the guy had it, okay, the tank, the motor, and this is not the same compressor pump. The original compressor pump that was on this setup, the guy had it, he let it get low on oil, and it threw a rod and busted out the side of the case. So no good. Another guy gave me a compressor that had been in a flood. It was much older, but when it went through the flood, they float up and they turn over, and the motor in it was burned up. I actually have still a good tank from it. He did take the compressor all apart and, you know, got the water out, oiled it up. So he gave it to me, and of course he had taken it apart, so I had to get a head gasket for it. And this was pre-internet when I did all this. Well, very early stages of internet. I'm gonna say pre-internet. I did this years and years and years ago. I actually made a head gasket. I went to a gasket company, asked them, told them what I was trying to do. They gave me this real thick, high temp gasket stuff, and he just gave me a sheet of it. I was just a kid, and he gave it to me, and I made a head gasket for it. This is the compressor I had at my house for years. That head gasket lasted probably 15 years, and it was good. Then, so I put it in play. I put it in service here, you know, when this one went out, and it blew a head gasket. And so I pulled it off and made a new one, and it blew that one. And so I think the head's slightly warped on it. I need to get it on a flat surface. I can probably file it down, and I just need to order the right head gasket for it. So I need to check the head on this one for flatness and order a head gasket for it. Then we've got this one. So when that one died, I went to this one. It has been working trouble-free until today. It will not turn on. I don't know if we've got an issue with the switch. I plugged that one back in just to make sure I still had power there. I do. So I need to tear into this one, I guess. This is my, I guess, best hope of getting this one going. Because I'm without a compressor. 3 of them here, and they all are dead. And I guess I should have been fixing some of them up instead of just slowly going through them. But like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with this one. Ideally, I would probably buy a new pump for this one. Problem is, 2-stage cast iron pumps are extremely expensive. So by the time you do that, and then this motor has a different shaft on it, I've got to make sure. I know this shaft's real stubby. I don't know if I can get a pulley on it and get it rearranged, because the motor itself's good. If I can get reuse this motor basically with an oiled cast iron pump, we'll just have to see. And so that's kind of been my hold up. I hate to do it, but the cheapest option would be just go ahead and rebuild this. I can rebuild it for about $100. So that's the cheapest option, but I hate doing that because, you know, yeah. Because I know a few years from now, probably 2-3 years, it's going to need to be rebuilt again. So, and it's super noisy. But that would be the cheapest option. And then, you know, I need to fix this one and figure out what's going on with this one today. And I've got another one over there, free one, that I need to. I think it's got a bad start capacitor. So I'll make a video of that one day. It's a 110. I probably won't hold on to it. I have no need for it. I'll probably repair it and put it on Craigslist or something. But it was a freebie. It stopped working and the guy gave it to me. So he had already bought a new one. I was jealous of his new one. It was one about this size, cast iron pump. And somebody gave it to him, and it was a nice compressor. So I wish I would have gotten that one instead of the other one, but you know, he had a better friend. So no, I'm not complaining. I'll take the freebies, no matter what they are. Anyway, so we're gonna dig into this one. I've got it unplugged. We're gonna start with the switch. See if maybe the switch is bad. If it is, I'm just going to take the one off of that one. They're identical. These are almost the same compressors. This one's just got a bigger tank. This is a 30 gallon. This is a 25, I think. 20 gallon. I don't know if the CFMs are the same. This one's slightly more CFMs, but this one, if I remember right, this pump is being the pulley. I did not get the pulley. He junked the motor. He junked the motor because it was bad. And I think I looked it up, and the pulley I have is just a hair bigger, so this pump is actually turning a little bit faster. So I think it's putting out a little more CFM than it did originally. So let's see if we can get this one working. It doesn't even try to run, so I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, it should be cutting on. So that's off. That should be on. And then let's plug it back in one more time. I don't remember. I wonder if that switch was hung up. That would be nice. Pressure switch had gotten stuck now I need to do something about my air compressor. So I need to hurry up and make a decision on what I want to do on that. I thought about just buying one of those, the biggest cast iron air compressor pump that Harbor Freight has. I think it's about $170, and put it on there. And if that motor won't work, I'd take the one off of my other compressor over there that has the bad head gasket. And just to show y'all, here's that other one, and I got it torn apart like it is. He took it apart to try to fix it and couldn't. Motor just hums, and it's another oilless compressor, but I have no idea if I know that the motor has an issue, and I think it's the start capacitor. I have no idea if the pump itself is good on it, but I do have, I think, all the shrouds. When he gave it to me, he did not give me any of the shrouds with it, and I asked him if he had it, and he said he thought he threw them away, but he'd keep an eye out. He called me like a week later and said he had found I think 2 shrouds, and he wasn't sure if they were it, and I went and got them, and I think they're everything that it needs. I think it's all the shrouds for it. So that end plate for the motor is kind of busted up, and we'll have to try to, the screw where the screws go in, it's busted out, so we'll have to see if we can get it back together. And you can see residue. When I got it, it had tape. You can see the tape residue. He had it taped back together right there because it busted out. So I ordered a new capacitor for it, so when I get some time, we'll put a new capacitor in it and see if it'll work. But we're up and running now, so let me get busy. Thanks for watching.